540 ESPN.
We'll do it live. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Thing sucks. You see it, KYJ. Things have changed just a little bit since the last time you were here.
I think you should see your oculus. Nothing wrong with my feet. I'm talking about your eyes.
I can even make my ass do tricks. Watch this.
You have any idea where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. This is WCW. That's right. Hold on.
For over 10 years, the world's #1 source for professional wrestling news and information. And once again, here's your hosts, Damian Nelson, Frank Cosentino, and the man they call Meathead. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and streaming live all over the world at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRShow.com. The night is Monday, the date, May 3rd, 2010, WWE Raw going off the air on the USA Network. Sitting here live with David the Hero, the Deva, if you will, and the man they call Meathead, Frank Cosentino, not able to join us tonight. He's on assignment along with Rashi Brown.
I heard Rashi's on location.
On assignment, on location, on the road.
Yeah.
We got CNN's old bus, so they're getting it all fixed up so we can go on some more road trips.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to our road trip.
We welcome everybody watching us all over the world, listening to us all over the world, rather. Oh, look at that. Oh, Meathead's
wow.
phone making noise. Great. A lot to talk about tonight, gentlemen. A lot to talk about tonight, specifically TNA. They've announced.
They've tucked tail and run.
They have announced that they are going back to the future, if you will, on Thursday nights.
Oh, look at that. Damien's laptop's still making noises.
No, that was my phone, actually.
Yeah.
You guys are just way too much.
Doing a broadcast.
So we're going to talk about that in addition to a personality release from TNA last week, and I use that term loosely. Talk about tonight's Raw and Impact. Also, we're going to get an outside opinion, David Hero, on this whole Pope thing. Got a wrestling journalist joining us.
Wow.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the hour, and we're going to go ahead and try to get that all cleared up.
Well, you don't want my opinion, obviously.
Well, that's what you're paid
so
for.
Why don't you get someone else?
No. There's a lot of controversy. There's a lot of controversy.
You know what?
You and I disagree on the Pope.
There's
so
no
we need to get we need to get Switzerland. We need to get an outside party.
On the TNAWrestling.com.
There you go with that.
And see where he is in the voting. There's no controversy. None.
Anyways, we're going to.
I thought this issue was dead. I thought we let it go already.
It will never die. It will never die.
It won't die till the Pope's in a headlining main event again on a pay-per-view. We're also going to talk about the status of Jim Ross with WWE. But, gentlemen, let's get back to that big announcement that TNA made tonight, which was not a huge announcement because it's not something they necessarily want to be very proud of. But just 2 months into this thing, they are going back to Thursday nights. And several things to discuss with that. And we want to hear all of your opinions on this situation. TNA not going to be on Mondays anymore. We're going to be taking your calls right after this segment regarding this subject, TNA moving back to Thursday nights. The number, 414-276-ESPN, 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-3776. Again, that's 1-800-990-3776. So let's go over the facts as we know them. It was announced to the talent and to the world today by TNA President Dixie Carter and Spike TV officials. It starts next week, next Thursday night. It will be the start of TNA Thursdays on Spike TV, and there will be taped shows. They're not going to be going live anymore. And just before Impact, the show that we saw a pilot for a few weeks ago, TNA Reaction, will be airing, a very well-reviewed show. It's going to be airing each and every week as part of TNA Thursdays, taking up the entire 3-hour primetime block on Spike TV. And Spike, like I said, branding it and calling it TNA Thursday. So the question that certainly needs to be answered is this defeat? And we'll start with you, Meathead. Did TNA lose this war they started? Is it defeat?
I've said since the beginning this is not a war. Now, this is something that maybe wrestling pundits maybe even TNA themselves have said this was never a war. This wasn't the Monday Night Wars. I've never said that term. I was very adamant about not calling it a war. They jumped way too far, way too fast, and it's a huge failure to jump back to Thursdays. Now, you can tell by, and Damian, I think this was something that you popped in a tweet, I think it was last week, when the replay showed up for Thursday. They beat their Monday rating. Now, what does that tell you? That tells you that, one, that there's interest in the product. Two, that there's enough interest in the product that even though wrestling fans didn't want to make the choice, they still wanted to see what the hell TNA was doing. So I think they've got a lot of good things going for them, but to jump up to Mondays live was a huge, huge mistake.
What the higher rating on last week Thursday's Impact shows to me is that there is still a lot of interest for the product, and people made a choice because TNA gave them that choice to make. Spike TV, rather, gave them that choice to make. They chose not to watch on Monday, and they chose to watch on Thursday. David Hero, your thoughts on the situation? TNA announcing the move back to Thursday nights, not 6 months, not 1 year, like we both pretty much predicted it would be if it were to happen. September, I think, was the month that you said would be when it might happen.
I can't believe how quickly they failed at this.
How quickly they admitted failure?
No, honestly, they really didn't fail. They didn't. Because they did everything they could, and they're going to wind up back on Thursday night. So
how can you say that they did everything they could if it was only a 2-month span?
Well, within 2 months, they did everything they could. When they couldn't pop a rating, the week after Rob Van Dam wins the World Championship,
for a taped show, by the way,
it doesn't make a difference. Taped or live.
Combined rating that week was pretty strong.
All they had to do, the smart thing to do, is to go to Thursday nights.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? Rob Van Dam, as evidenced by tonight's live TNA, they love him. Rob Van Dam is their big thing right now. I mean, and they put the belt on the right guy. We questioned it.
He's not the right guy.
I think he's the right guy. They got the belt on the right guy because the fans love him. You know, you look for stuff in WWE. I remember sitting at a Raw with Damian one night, and we were sitting there talking about how Raw versus SmackDown, Raw had just, your entrance song, and you had the entire crowd singing along to the song with stuff that they could do. What wrestlers in TNA we talked about had stuff that you could do. The second Rob Van Dam's music hits, boom, here comes the thumbs, and the whole crowd just jumps for that stuff.
You don't think Jeff Hardy would have been a better call than Rob Van Dam?
No. Not right now.
I don't know. I think you know what they should have done is they should have, if they weren't going to use AJ Styles, put the title on a strong heel, which obviously they don't have at this time, and let that baby face chase them to try to.
No, I got you.
Because
we've talked about that.
Some
that
buzz.
The money really is in the face chasing the heel. We've talked about that many times on this program. But I think right now, to take the belt off of AJ, if you're going to give it to a face, it's got to go to Rob Van Dam. The crowd is crazy about this guy. They love him. And if it's not going to be the Pope, it's Rob Van Dam.
Wow. Well, there you have it then, I guess. Meathead, he has all the answers. Rob Van Dam, Jeff Hardy. He's the guy. He's the guy that sells the merch. He's the guy that is
right now. But I'm telling you, RVD is going to sell that
but
shirt.
Here's the thing:
that
Jeff Hardy
sell.
he hasn't been on TV since August, but he had a far better run in the past 2 years than RVD did.
Yeah,
you're right. I think the thing that held back Jeff Hardy is his upcoming court case next week. But
and that's why it's not going to go to Jeff Hardy.
But what does it show TNA fans and TNA talent? Okay.
That they have to put it on a new guy.
Once again, a guy that comes in from WWE comes in and he's the champion.
Right in. Well, he didn't exactly
you
come
always
right
look
from
at it
WWE.
That way.
He didn't
but
exactly come in. No, he didn't come in from WWE. That may have been the last company he was at, but there was a huge 1 to 2 year gap.
But that's what people know him for.
1 to 2 year gap. The Rob Van Dam fans know him from being Rob Van Dam, ECW, then WWE.
Okay, well.
RVD fans are loyal. I mean, those are the guys that know him more for ECW than they did for WWE.
Let's talk about some facts. The fact of the rating.
The fact
as
of the
you
matter
talked
is
about,
this.
As you talked about, TNA didn't do so well the week after RVD became champion. They dropped to a 0.5, about 640,000 viewers. That Thursday had about 740,000 viewers.
Twice.
WWE ratings tell a story, though. and let's talk about that. January through April 2009, same time last year, this time, same stuff going on. 3.69 was their average rating. This year, WWE 2010, January through April, down 6.1% to a 3.47 average over all weeks between January and April.
You mean a 0.6%? I'm sorry.
Down 6.1% to a 3.47. Before March 8th, they were down just over 2.5% over prior year. So TNA Impact, while they certainly were not garnering the ratings WWE were, they were chipping away at WWE's audience.
So you're saying that TNA, even though they weren't getting WWE numbers or the numbers that they had hoped, were pulling a small, tasty percentage of Raw viewers away.
Yes.
Okay.
So you think that TNA is the reason they went down 6% in the ratings?
What other reason could there be aside from
just
5 and 5?
Life in general.
But this is usually their strongest period of the year for ratings. WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, two of the most popular pay-per-views each year.
Mm-hmm.
They were only down 3% before March 8th.
Wrestling isn't as good as it was a
No.
year ago.
No. Stop that.
Wrestling was good. Wait, wrestling was good
in the last 2 months, they dropped another 4% compared to last year.
Did you say wrestling was good last year?
What else should they compare it to? I wonder, actually, and maybe we should compare it to 2008. We can get the interns on that and see what kind of drop there was year to year.
Call
there was
Joey
no
numbers and have him figure this out for
He's
us.
He's busy with he's working out trying to put together some of the voting information from. There's something that clearly happened with the Pope's ranking on the voting for at TNAWrestling.com.
Yeah.
Joey Numbers is working on that.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Yeah. But I think it tells a story. But the question, in this experiment, if you will, did TNA grow their audience? And here's what I mean.
No.
Did they gain new fans by making all this noise, being on Monday night? Are they bringing people back to Thursdays now? Will this be viewed as Mike Tyson at WrestleMania 14? Now, of course, not as impactful, but it took until
pun intended.
It took until the end of April for WWE Raw to beat Nitro in the ratings, and many people attributed that to the Tyson bump. This stuff doesn't click in right away. I agree with you, David. Maybe they should have taken more time with this. Absolutely, they should have taken more time for this, and but they didn't, and they're going back to Thursdays. But I wonder if they did gain more of an audience by this experiment.
Take your 6% decrease, okay?
6.1, by the way.
6.1.
Yes.
And go the year before that and see what it went down. And the year before
that,
and
see
when it went down.
That's what he's going to do.
It was higher in 08, I believe.
Here's the thing. TNA wasn't on Monday nights 2 years ago. You're going to see that wrestling in general has just decreased.
Yes.
And you can tell that by how they sell their live events. That right there should show you.
Well, the live events have been weak for years, Dave. Weak for years.
Actually, they're doing pretty strong.
They're going to smaller buildings. They're no longer in the big buildings.
They're not strong here in the States versus they do more money now across the pond. They do more money on their European tours, the Asian tours, down under tours, wherever they're doing tours. That's where they do better money.
So much to talk about, and we've just scratched the surface. Still want you to answer the question. Have they gained any fraction of an audience by this experiment? We'll talk about that when we come back. We've also got callers in New Jersey, Indianapolis, and New York waiting on the Airtran phone zone. And like I said, so much to talk about TNA moving back to Thursday nights. We've also got some TNA merchandise for our listeners here in Milwaukee to give away later today.
Only from Milwaukee?
Well, they got to come down and pick it up. If you're willing to drive down to the station, you can come pick it up.
Fantastic.
Unless you want to ship it out.
You are always looking out, aren't you?
Well, I try.
Wait. What kind of merchandise is it again?
Digital video discs and T-shirts.
From who?
Keychains. TNA Wrestling. They used to be on Monday nights.
Yes, they did.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Read blogs from your favorite 540 ESPN personalities. Log on to the all-new ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Hi, this is Leroy Butler, inventor of the Lambeau Leap. For my friends, the law firm of Weigel, Carlson, Blau, and Clemens. Most of you have seen their television commercials featuring some of my old teammates. You've probably seen one of their old billboards featuring an old photo of an accident scene. Undoubtedly, you've heard of their slogan, don't drop the ball, make the call. When you've been a victim of an accident, give them a call. They have settled thousands of claims for hundreds of millions of dollars, and I know they can help you too. Before you handle your own case without a lawyer, you better think twice. If you are thinking of hiring a law firm, think Weigel, Carlson, Blau, and Clemens. You want a winning team on your side. If you've been injured in any kind of accident, call Milwaukee's own, the law firm of Weigel, Carlson, Blau, and Clemens. They won't drop the ball if you make the call.
Don't drop the ball. Make the call. Call 342-1000. Weigel, Carlson, Blau, and Clemens. Call 342-1000.
Blurriness, wavy lines, blind spot. These are all symptoms of a chronic condition called wet age-related macular degeneration, also known as wet AMD. It can develop quickly, and it's a leading cause of blindness in people 60 and older. Learn about your risk factors and find out how a retina specialist can help. Just visit amdawareness.org. And if you aren't seeing clearly, get checked now. Knowing the symptoms may save your sight. Learn more at amdawareness.org today. This message was brought to you by the American Society of Retina Specialists and Genentech.
Meet Patrick and Peggy English, owners of a new Chevy Malibu.
My wife had been a Toyota owner for many years and thought she always would be. With the Malibu, we were able to get the safety along with the other features that were important to us. I would recommend it to anybody who's looking for a family sedan, high quality, good mileage, and very safe.
I'm very, very happy with the car.
To hear more of Patrick and Peggy's story and to learn more about Malibu, visit Chevy.com, and may the best car win.
It's 2010, and we are all trying new ways to get in front of our customers. This is Chad Schultz with Innovative Signs. Are you attending an upcoming trade show as an exhibitor? This certainly is a great way to get in front of numerous clients fast. However, the number one key to gain a positive return on investment is for an effective, eye-popping, show-stopping exhibit. We can help you get people into your booth. What you do after that is up to you. For 3 great tips on how to maximize your trade show experience, contact me, Chad Schultz, at Innovative Signs, 262-432-1330, or visit our website, innovative-signs.com.
Show your mom you appreciate all she's done for you. Celebrate Mom this Mother's Day at Marcus Hotels and Resorts. Enjoy chef-prepared entree, mouth-watering pastries, and special memories with a Mother's Day brunch at one of Milwaukee's favorite dining destinations, Main Street Grill, Kilowatt, and Milwaukee Chop House. Give the gift of renewal with a Well Spa and Janice Salon gift card, or make it a weekend with special rates at Milwaukee's premier hotels, the Pfister, Intercontinental Milwaukee, and Hilton Milwaukee City Center. For times, menus, and more, log on to mkemothersday.com.
Your hometown airline first took off more than 25 years ago, serving Milwaukee business and leisure travelers, first to a few cities, then to many. Through the years of change and challenge, Midwest has always offered exceptional service and little extras like chocolate chip cookies baked right on board. Now begins a new chapter in the tales of Midwest as it becomes one airline with Frontier Airlines. New name, but the same care, with more flights to more destinations, all at great fares. Welcome aboard, Milwaukee, to Frontier Airlines.
Start the day with Mike and Mike, mornings at 5 a.m. Get Milwaukee sports all day long on 540 ESPN.
Thunder. What is this? Thunder.
What is thunder?
Thunder, thunder, thunder. WCW's Thursday Night Thunder.
Is this like what the Weather Channel uses when there's a bad storm rolling in or something? Is this the bump?
I'm Stagger Lee Marshall. This is Bobby the Brain.
Oh, the road show, the phone booth. Remember?
I'm calling live from Smith.
What did they call that?
It was on
the nobody's going to come to the show report?
Stagger Lee Marshall, that was the last thing he did. I mean, the guy was the play-by-play in AWA. He shows up in WCW. They just buy his contract, bring him on. It was a favorite of Eric Bischoff, I guess, and poor Stagger Lee was stuck doing Thursday Night Thunder.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Thank you so much for that vintage theme song there, Fish.
Yeah, thanks, Fish.
You know what? If you could find Superstars or Challenge or Live Wire or
What the World
Shotgun Saturday Night, that's what everybody wants to hear.
Hey, did you hear that Scotty Too Hotty got traded to Shotgun Saturday Night?
I did.
It was part of the draft, right?
Yeah,
Supplemental.
that's pretty awesome. He's the new face of Shotgun Saturday Night. Hey, you know, I almost forgot. I was shopping this weekend. I was at Toys R Us.
Yeah, not Costco. Don't you said
No.
Wait, no. Yeah, let me call that up. You could carry on with your lies
and
your
pegs
viciousness
of Cody Rhodes.
For those who don't know
figures.
what pegs are, those are the things that the action figures hang on. So how many pegs were there?
Well, there were 4 full pegs, 6 back each of Cody Rhodes, marked down on sale.
As in a clearance? Get them off my shelf?
I could not believe it.
Let's make the SmackDown.
I did not see one Evan Bourne at all.
Because they're sold out.
Oh, wait, no. Evan Bourne's your guy.
And Jack Swagger.
That means they're sold out.
Okay, so were there Jack Swagger? Oh, no, that doesn't mean they're sold out. That means they don't have them. They don't exist.
They were sold out. Lots of Cody Rhodes.
Nobody's buying a Cody Rhodes. You don't hear your kid coming up to you and go, Dad, can I have the Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Well, no.
I wish you all would get back on topic, all right?
We didn't have a topic.
TNA moving back to Thursday night.
You know what? Yeah. How many times did they mention they were going to Thursday nights throughout the show?
It's
in the beginning.
They can't mention it too much. That's like pulling on your own tail as it's stuck between your legs.
So then when the people that watch it tonight go back next week and
looking
it's not
for it
there,
on Monday, they
like,
give up.
Wow, what happened to the show?
How many people do you think were watching on Monday that weren't watching or knew of Thursday's replay?
0.67.
That wasn't even the rating last week.
It went up this week. It was a live show.
Oh, you got the ratings. You don't get the overnights. You get the instant.
I get
Is that what
the
it
instant.
is? Yeah.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about TNA in depth later. And like I said, thank you very much for those of you waiting on hold. We're going to get to in a minute. The question before we took that time out was, did TNA grow their audience overall at all? Not ratings, but the people who know about the product being out there in this Monday night experiment meathead.
Yes, absolutely. And like I had mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think it was on TV, Hulk Hogan went ahead and did his second round of mass media. You know, he was on Howard Stern. He went on all these other different, media outlets.
Last week.
Oh, was it last week?
Last Thursday.
But I talked about it 2 weeks ago and said that's what he should do. Now, I don't think he was listening to me. I think it was something he already had planned. But they grew. If you're talking about from the first time Hulk Hogan came into the company until today, they have more fans now than they did then. If you're talking about from March 8th versus today, they grew their audience. Will they be able to pull those fans over to Thursday? I think more people are going to watch on Thursday because, again, even WWE fans who said still, I got to watch Raw on Monday nights, never wanted to watch TNA, will now find out that, look, I guess TNA is over on Thursdays. I guess I'll try it out. They grew their audience.
David Hero, your thoughts? Meathead says yes.
Well, yeah, their audience, how could it not grow when you have that influx of talent? When you bring in RVD and Jeff Hardy
got tons of names.
And Mr. Anderson
and
Hogan and Flair, and all that, how can you not grow an audience?
Roxy.
And plus, you know what? Look at all the mainstream media that Hogan did get for them. How can he not?
Right.
Obviously, they didn't grow it enough because, you know what? Wrestling fans today still look at TNA. How can I say this without being overly negative
and being told you never have a job coming up in the future?
Well, no, in the beginning, TNA when it first started was a glorified indie show.
Sure.
Okay. And it's slow.
Are you talking about in the beginning in the Fox Sports
Yeah,
net?
absolutely. And in the beginning, since then it's gotten
good.
better. But people still look at TNA as a second or third rate show. And I say third rate because they say Raw's number 1, SmackDown's number 2. Then TNA's number 3, and that's what they have to get past. They have to convince the casual wrestling.
Now
fan.
we aren't talking about here in America because again TNA is
living
huge.
in America.
But here's why it's huge overseas. It's because it's on free TV over there.
The pay-per-views you're talking about.
So yeah, it's something with the TVs where.
Well, Raw is on a later time. I think 2 or 3 a.m. potentially when it's live or when it first comes on. And then there's a replay. However,
they do great house business over there as well.
TNA's single broadcast beats Raw's duplicate broadcast a couple times.
Terrible house show business overseas.
Really?
Ooh, TNA?
Yes.
Better than domestic.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't great.
Was it enough to warrant?
Didn't you say
back?
before you started talking you were going to try to make this not sound as negative as
I was, but he keeps taking me off course.
No, there is no off course. I'm asking you a question. Was it enough to warrant them going back?
They have no choice but to go back.
Especially because of the TV rating.
Here's why. Because every
Isn't that
week...
the dirty little secret
Are you going to let me finish?
I'm sorry. I apologize.
See?
You know what? You were right.
Here's the thing. It's because every week people like us sit here and give our take and opinion saying, wow, TNA, their ratings sucked again. They want to try to get some positive media, going out of this. I've talked to some of the guys in the TNA camp, and for the past 2 months they've been saying, hey, we need to go back to Thursday nights. This isn't something that just all of a sudden popped up. They've been talking about this for quite a while.
They talked about it since March 9th.
When they did this, when they announced this, I said, you got to take risks. To grow a company, you got to take risks. If Dodge wouldn't have made the Caravan, if Chrysler hadn't taken that risk in '85, that company would have gone away. If Vince McMahon hadn't taken the risk of WrestleMania, WWE wouldn't be where it is today. TNA had to take this risk.
Look at how much money they lost.
Yeah, but they took that risk.
Oh,
What if they didn't? What if they didn't lose that money? if this worked? What if they were Nitro in 95? Now, granted, that didn't happen, and now they got to go back to Thursday nights, but I still wonder, and I think that both of you have answered it, did they actually gain something from this?
They took away, but I think they lost more than they won. They have won something, but I think they lost more. I think they lost more prestige as far as, look, we thought we were a big company. Now we're crawling back with our tail between our legs. That's how it's going to come off. I'm not saying that's how I feel, but that's how it's going to come off to your general person.
Now they're no longer live, right?
That's what they say. They're going taped again.
They have to, because their talent budget is too big.
And you need to fly them all in at once.
They can't sustain it right now.
Right.
No, they're not flying everybody in all at once.
It's going to be taped.
You didn't see ODB on tonight.
What I'm saying, though, is instead of having live every other week, which means you have to fly them in every other week, you fly them in once, and then you use whoever you're going to use for that period.
Well, no, because they'll probably tape 2 or 3 weeks in a row again.
That's what I'm saying. And you have them all there, day after day after day.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do now? What is TNA's next step when they go back to Thursday on May 13th, David Hero?
Boy, I don't know. I mean, right now the formula is kind of working, and they really shouldn't. They just can't start all over again. They can't,
do a company reset.
They can't do a reset. There's no way. Right now they got some things in motion. They have to be consistent. They have to show the fans that they have faith in their guys. If they reset everything now, it just proves to everybody that they don't have the horses, to even be in a race by themselves.
Yeah.
Meathead, what's next for TNA starting May 13th?
It's funny that we see Hogan and Bischoff on TV. How many times a show usually? 4 or 5 segments at least? I think they need to pull those two off.
But here's the thing.
Let them on once.
In the beginning, they're the most recognizable guys on the show.
But now they've taken these 2 months and have gotten their name talents out there. Now they should let those name talents do what they do.
Let's go to the phone lines in the Airtran phone zone. Let's hear what the fans out there in the world have to say about this. And we're taking your calls about TNA Impact moving back to Thursday. What does it mean for the wrestling business, and what might be next for TNA? You can call us 276-3776 or all over the world at 1-800-990-ESPN. Let's go out to Rob in New Jersey. You're live.
Hey, guys. How you been?
Hey, Rob, I've been great. I had a great day today. I went and I took a drive. Just kidding, Rob. Go ahead.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Well, first of all, I want to talk to you guys about Orlando Jordan, the new gold dust of TNA or Black Rain, wherever he was. I want to talk to you about him. Like, what do you guys think of this new angle, this new Orlando Jordan type thing, actually allowing him to express himself outside the ring as well as inside the ring? How do you guys feel about that? The first question.
I mean, that's all you, baby.
No, that's not all me, baby. I'll tell you what. I did have a very unbiased person sitting watching that segment with me tonight, and she said to me, what in the world is that guy doing? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. If I were ever to, and this is verbatim, if I were to ever come across the channel and see that, I'd never go back to that again. I'm being very honest. She's not a wrestling fan. When she saw it, she said that is the dumbest thing. And then Rob Terry came in, and first thing she said is, how many roids is this guy on? Look at all the puffy bumps on him.
Puffy bumps.
She's not even seeing puffy bumps?
What?
Hey, he's a freak. What do you want him to do? The second thing is I want to talk to you about is TNA's sponsoring. It's like, remember the Stacker 2 stuff that he used to have? You know what I mean? The 6 Power Hours of Energy? Well, here's the thing. That's why TNA is not being noticed by a lot of wrestling fans because Hogan is on RAC, selling the TVs.
With Troy Aikman.
Yeah, right, Red Center. But here's the thing, though. You need more of that in order to get more revenue, more fans, more merchandise, and more viewing so that they know TNA's out there.
Actually, you need the cross-promotion to go along with that, too.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. You need more eyes and ears out just to let you know. Hey, Hogan's here. Oh, where's Hogan? Oh, yeah, he's in TNA. Wow, TNA. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, all these guys I used to watch. You know what I mean? It will psych them in. That will be like the main drive. Get more fans to watch more, commercials and more sponsorships on different networks and all that stuff.
Rob, excellent point. Thanks for that call. But these things take time. And
wait, was that Rob Terry that just called?
We just got an email, which David Hero, you sent me an email that you got from a fan a couple of days ago that actually called me a WWE mark.
I couldn't believe it.
Me, Damian
How
Nelson,
old is that
back,
email? How old
back
is that
to being
email?
a WWE mark. But we just got an email from a viewer or listener by the name of Brian who says this. And this is directed at all of us, it looks like. Stop apologizing for TNA. I don't care if the WWE ratings fell a little. Bottom line is that TNA bombed. They got low ratings and bombed. Now they're headed back to Thursday night licking their wounds. Stop apologizing for the biggest bomb in wrestling.
I didn't apologize
WSX.
for anybody.
Well, it's all about interpretation. People hear what they want to hear. The facts are the facts. Raw's ratings were down, so TNA had an impact. We certainly didn't say that meant they succeeded, because clearly they didn't. But let's continue in the Airtran phone zone. Let's go out to...
Wait, hold on. Going back to that OJ segment.
Yeah.
If I'm Rob Terry, why do I rip up my own standee?
Yeah, that was the only one in its existence.
And he ripped the head off
standee?
first. Yeah, yeah, so they're called. They're
Cardboard
called
cutout.
Oh, no, they're called standees.
Oh,
do they have those at Toys R Us too for
Cody
$6.99?
They did have Cody Rhodes, yeah.
Jason in Manhattan, you're live on the Pro Wrestling Report. Jason, you're live.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Jason. You want to talk a little bit about, is this still a war? Go ahead.
First off, I just want to say that the PWR has been like the WWE for a while. You know, the same guys calling in and getting over, the Glens from Orlando's and the Bowmans and the Curry Heads.
Well, welcome. Thanks for calling. The phone lines are always open, so dial up.
I just want to say that TNA Impact on Monday nights was a defunct wrestling show, which we moved back to Thursdays. And I got to say, David Hero, you did it again.
Not defunct because it's still on the air.
Wait, he's talking to me now here.
I didn't like where it was going.
David Hero, you did it again. A couple months ago, you were telling Damien that it wasn't a war, that, you know, it wasn't a war between Monday Night Raw.
Wait, where was my credit, man? I said
Let
that
the man
before
talk.
the show started.
Jason, it was a war. Somebody loses
never
a war.
was a war.
You lose battles within the war. You win some battles. You lose a war. It was a war.
Yeah,
you are looking at a war between two equally matched meathead. When you were getting beat up in high school, those were battles in the war
I never
of
got
your
beat
high
up in high
school
school. I beat up
time.
guys like you.
Trust
me.
It was a war. You just look at the definition of war. It was a war. I'm not saying TNA was at the level of WWE by saying it was a war. It was a war. David Hero had gotten to that point as well by agreeing that it was a war.
Oh,
it's just to shut you up.
I mean, we're so used to David Hero being right. I mean, it's just.
I'm not.
Well, the whole world is. I mean, he is always right. So.
See, there we go. Great caller.
I pop for David Hero. So.
Okay. By the way, thanks for the call. The definition of war: a state of open, armed, often prolonged conflict carried on between nations, states, or parties. B, the period of such conflict.
Are you kidding me?
The techniques and procedures of war.
Are you
military
serious? Wikipedia. Are you? God.
It was a war. Your
Okay.
little definitions ain't gonna change my opinion on this. I've got a promo like Wayne Brady did tonight.
Is Wayne
This
Brady
is
gonna
the
have to
award-winning
choke
Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
When you want to turn bedtime into playtime, Super Video. Super Video 2 and City News and Video has exactly what you need. Stop in for great deals on adult titles. Right now, buy two $14.95 DVDs and you'll get two free. That's right, free. They also have a wide variety of lingerie for that lady in your life, varying from risque fashions to racy bedroom wear and everything in between. Surprise that special someone with a sensational gift for the both of you. You're sure to find just what you're looking for to heat things up between the sheets. Don't forget, Super Video, Super Video 2, and City News and Video carry a full line of tobacco accessories, including wood, metal, and color-changing pieces. And they're open late, till 2 a.m. or later. For all your adult entertainment needs, remember to shop Super Video in West Dallas, Super Video 2 in Cudahy, and the City News and Video in Waukesha.
Smoking accessories are for tobacco use only. No other use is intended or implied.
I can hit the ball farther than anyone. Not as far as me. I have a better throwing arm. You throw like my grandma.
Got an argument to settle? ESPN Milwaukee is teaming up with Major League Baseball to bring you the second annual Pitch Hit and Run competition on Sunday, May 23rd at Healthier Field. Pitch Hit and Run is presented by Children's Hospital of Wisconsin and We Energies. It's also brought to you by Milwaukee Sporting Goods, Cool World Entertainment, Music on the Move, D&S Food Services, Subway, Wilson Park Youth Baseball, and Bryan and Stratton College. For more information, log on to ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Easy. Don't horse it in.
Grab the net.
The beauty.
Thanks, guys. I try to stay in shape.
Talking fish. What the heck?
First time you ever had a bass talk back to you?
Why are they called largemouth?
I just thought I'd tell you what a great job you're doing to keep me healthy. VHS, nasty fish disease.
You mean like removing all plants and animals from your boat?
Yep.
And draining all the water.
It keeps the riffraff out of my pond.
And not moving fish from lake to lake.
And there are rules about that. Go to the DNR's website. Catch me later.
Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources.
Backstretch grandstands losing their minds. Mark Martin for the final time off the end of the back chute.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on MRN Radio. Coverage continues Saturday with the Showtime Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway. Hear it live at 5:30 p.m. on MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR. And for ticket information, go to myracetravel.com.
Saturday night at 5:30 on 540 ESPN. Brought to you by Durzon and Menard.
Talk Packers all day long on 540 ESPN.
Vintage Fist. Has anyone seen X-Pac?
They said on the program.
Oh, wait, no. What do you mean? Has anyone seen him? Did you release him? No. Listen, the last time I saw him, was a few weeks ago up here in Milwaukee.
Sure, but they mentioned on the program that may be the last time you will see X-Pac in TNA. They said it.
Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com. Damian Nelson, Dave Hero, and the man they call Meathead here with you, coming to you from our downtown Milwaukee studios of 540 ESPN. Now, David Hero, this has been talked about for a long time, and I really want to get an outside opinion on this. You have your reservations about the Pope.
Oh, I have no reservations with the Pope at all.
You have your
you're
reservations.
not reserving your time with him?
You have your reservations with how far the Pope will go in his career track in TNA.
Yes.
So
he got beat up by an altar boy tonight. What does that tell you? Altar boy.
We have a special guest who's going to join us right now, Steve Gerwick of Gerwick.net, a very popular wrestling news site out there. Steve Gerwick is going to be joining us now. Welcome, Steve, to the program.
How you guys doing?
Hey,
tremendous.
Let me just say that Gerwick.net, when I hear that there's hot news breaking, that's where I go to confirm it.
Well,
so that's a ringing endorsement right there.
I appreciate that very much.
Well, Steve, I don't know how familiar you are with David Hero's problems he's had with the Pope.
There's no problems.
He, on February 12th, 2010, on this program, buried the Pope. And ever since then, he's been fighting his way back up that hill, trying to get into the favors
I've
of
been on
the
top
fans
of the mountain looking down.
listening and watching the show. So, Steve, obviously knowing as much as you know about the business, knowing what you know about the Pope, give us your impression on him as a star in TNA wrestling and just how far you think the Pope will go.
That's interesting because I was a big fan of the Pope or Elijah Burke when he was back in ECW. I thought he was an up-and-coming star, probably held back to a certain point. I mean, everybody on ECW, to a certain degree, was held back because it was obviously the C show. I was happy to see TNA picked him up, although my biggest problems with him is really the name, the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're a father of a child, can you imagine your child saying, I want a Pope doll, a Pope action figure?
Or suicide like that earlier?
Yeah.
Or the altar boy attacking the Pope on Impact tonight. That says so much, but nothing all at the same time.
I like him a lot, Elijah Burke himself as a wrestler, but I don't think the gimmick is one that's going to take him to the top of the food chain in TNA. He's a good worker. I think he's got a ways to go. I can see him right now as, mid-card. There's a lot of people in that mid-card range, but as far as going to the top of TNA, I really can't see it.
And that's from one of the smartest guys in wrestling right there, Steve Gerwick.
So what are you saying, Hero?
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I don't foresee the Pope ever headlining, main eventing for TNA. I don't think that's the direction that Hogan and Bischoff would ever want to go. Not saying he's not talented, just that character. I just can't see him.
So how many pegs of characters is the Pope going to have at Toys R Us?
Well, we'll find out.
Okay.
Steve, your thoughts on the announcement today that TNA is moving back, Impact moving back to Thursdays. The Monday night experiment is over.
Yeah, and just real quickly, with the Pope, I like I said, I think he's a good talent, but the gimmick itself is not one that will elevate you to a big, a high status in TNA. But the move today, not surprised. I think I'm very surprised they didn't wait at least a couple of months. I really can't believe they pulled the plug on this. They're really spinning it. I was talking to some of the people at tonight's show. They're really spinning it. It's TNA's decision, not Spike's decision, although there was a Spike official there tonight. Spike has bent over backwards for this company. Whatever they've wanted, they pretty much have gotten.
Right.
Saturday nights, and they went to prime times on Thursday nights. Now they're prime time on Monday nights. Spike TV has bent over backwards for this company. And, I mean, last week they produced, a 0.5 rating. If they lose Spike TV, I mean, they're pretty much dead. I mean,
right.
I can't see another major network saying, let's give this TNA a chance, because, I mean, give them a chance. They've been around for how long now?
Right.
And they've not grown. Their audience is not growing at all.
Yep. Well, Steve Gerwick, it's a pleasure to have you on the program. Again, the website is Gerwick, GERWECK.net. All the hot news and breaking news from professional wrestling can be found there. And we look forward to having you back on again sometime to get that different opinion from sometimes the opinions that we have in this room as to what's going on around the world out there.
Not a problem, guys.
Thanks,
Steve.
Thanks for joining us. So, David Hero, clearly you
called in a favor from somebody that agreed with you?
Yep.
That's not a favor.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
You know what? I tell you what.
I'm just putting it out there.
You get anybody else you want.
Okay, but I don't have that.
Call somebody, get them on.
I don't have that kind of stroke. I'm not Dave Hero.
So, hey, you know what? Steve Gerwick, he's been around for a long time.
I'll goofing around. I mean, he's a good dude, but, I just had to give you a shot.
Let's go to the phone zone, and let's go out to Queens, New York. Eric, who's been waiting very patiently, who wants to talk about this subject as well. TNA moving to Thursday. Eric, you're live.
Hey, guys, I want to send my condolences to your Milwaukee Bucks.
Ooh.
Fear the deer.
I tell you, Dave, do you do NBA Finals predictions, too?
No.
Okay.
I don't mess around with fake sports.
He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough information to make those.
Yeah,
kinds of predictions.
enough guys on the inside.
I just don't know which way the refs are going to call a travel or whatnot.
I hear you. And Damien, how bad was that Nightmare on Elm Street?
Here's the thing.
Yes.
Even you guys sound alike. Here's the thing.
Freddy versus Jason, not the best of movies.
No.
Awesome all at the same time.
Yes.
Friday the 13th, Part 8, one of the worst movies ever made.
Hey, you know what? You're right. They want it to be in Manhattan, and they shoot it in Vancouver.
Yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan. Oh. That's the one we don't talk about so often.
Yeah.
Still a good movie. I haven't seen it yet.
What about Freddy 10, the one in space?
That movie was one of the best of the series. Uber Jason.
Wait.
Anyway.
Freddy was in space?
No, Jason was.
Jason
X, not Friday the 13th because the rights to the name, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
They haven't been called Friday the 13th since that. But to your question, so we can keep going on here, Eric, I was going to see it today. My schedule did not allow it. I'll blame it on Windows 7 versus Windows Vista. I'll explain more later.
Well, I look forward to your update on the interactive, I guess.
Yeah.
My question, I guess, is I'm glad that Impact is moving Thursday. I think they can definitely we have a new war. It's going to be Superstars versus Impact.
They may have a chance then.
It's actually going to be Superstars versus Reaction.
Reaction, you're right. It's going to be Battle of the .6s, I guess. I was wondering, do you guys think that with Hogan obviously wanting to compete with Vince McMahon and now taking a step back by going to Thursdays and having tape shows and having, as you guys will talk about later, one of his best buddies shown the door this week, do you think Hogan is eventually going to, say adios and say, I can't help it anymore? And do you think there's any bad blood over the stuff that's, gone on this weekend?
Thank you for that call, Eric, out in Queens, New York. This was a tremendous blow to a lot of people's egos. And
Hogan being the main ego.
Yeah. And you got to wonder how much longer they're going to be a part of this deal. Now, we don't know the specifics of the deal. However, Hogan is, I guess, invested into the company. And I don't know if he actually took any risk, which I doubt he took risk aside from his reputation. But I don't see them walking away from this thing at this point. They can make it work. They hot-shot a lot of stuff. They went too far, too fast with a lot of stuff, and didn't give themselves enough chance to grow. I think that they may have underestimated the overall wrestling potential viewing audience. And we'll see what happens coming from this. And we're going to take some more of your phone calls in just a moment when we come back. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
Think you're smarter than Rain Man? Make sure to catch the world-famous trivia contest with Homer every Thursday at 5 when D-List co-host and Channel 12 sports director Dan Needles takes on a lucky listener. Rain Man is brought to you by Sageniac Planning, Rocky Rococo, and Horny Goat Beer. All Rain Man contestants receive a free pizza from Rocky Rococo and a certificate for a 6-pack of beer. And anyone who beats Rain Man wins pizza and beer for a year. That's Rain Man every Thursday at 5 with Homer on 540 ESPN. Brought to you by Rocky Rococo, Horny Goat Beer, and Sageniac Planning.
Have you ever seen or heard those commercials offering an easy way out of debt? It could be for a debt settlement company. And before you pick up the phone, there are some things you need to find out up front. For instance, are they asking for huge upfront fees before any money goes to reducing your debt? When will they begin paying your creditors? Are they telling you to stop paying your credit card bills and collecting the money instead? That violates your credit agreement and could do severe damage to your credit rating. Fortunately, there is a difference. The member agencies of the National Foundation for Credit Counseling are nonprofit, community-based organizations that can help you sort out your options and get you out of debt. Our certified counselors work with you to find the right solution. If you're overwhelmed, legitimate credit counseling can make a big difference. Call the NFCC today at 800-388-2227 or visit debtadvice.org to find a nonprofit credit counseling agency near you. That's debtadvice.org. This has been a public service message from the NFCC.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com.
I think the Steelers stack up historically pretty darn well. Let's put the heat on Ben. Let's put the heat on Santonio Holmes. Let's not put the heat on the Pittsburgh Steelers, who in this case are a victim of a couple of knuckleheads.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Mornings beginning at 9 on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Johnson, Human Resources Manager, and I can tell you, as a leading tech company, we naturally use the web to find talent. My job is to find the brightest tech candidates. Dice.com has the most qualified and talented candidates out there. Because Dice focuses on technology and engineering, I save a lot of time and trouble sifting through thousands of resumes from sites that aren't relevant to our business. Usually we're looking for experienced software and hardware engineers, DBAs, storage engineers, project managers. We found over half our key hires through Dice.
Dice is the #1 online technology job board. For over 17 years, Dice has focused exclusively on tech jobs. Post your open technology positions on Dice to access the best tech talent, or search through thousands of resumes from qualified engineering and tech professionals from all across the country. Visit Dice.com. Dice.com.
The sports Milwaukee cares about all day long on 540 ESPN.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN, streaming live at ESPNMilwaukee.com and PWRshow.com. You know what I was just thinking is this is, of course, the music belonging to the late, great Owen Hart. This would fit Cody Rhodes perfectly.
Because Cody is a nugget?
No, I think it's theme music. This music.
Seriously?
Seriously. What's wrong with that?
Wow, you want the guy to be buried, don't you?
Save it, hero. What do you mean?
This would be terrible music now.
Unless he comes out looking like Eugene, waving to everybody.
What? We got a couple more callers, Steve.
I don't know. This screams like Maroon 5 music to me now, Damien.
Who are they?
Some girl
I like
band.
the Maroon 5.
Yeah.
Let's go to Johnny in Massachusetts, who wants to talk about the man who became somewhat of Ric Flair tonight, Jay Lethal. Johnny, you're live.
Yeah, how you doing, guys?
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
Not too much. You ever think Jay Lethal will get a push?
Ooh, watching that
one
promo
right now.
Watching that promo today with Ric Flair, that was an amazing promo. I loved Jay Lethal coming out like Ric Flair, and the impression was pretty good. I thought his voice was pretty close, and I was hoping that was going to be the program with Ric Flair, and they're going to take that for a month or two. I hope that's where it goes, and maybe Jay Lethal does more.
You want to see Jay Lethal versus Ric Flair?
No, I want to see Jay Lethal get over. I want to see Jay Lethal even out there more.
Well, he's already over. He just needs to get a few wins.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Johnny out in Massachusetts asking about Jay Lethal.
You know what? Jay Lethal will be in Milwaukee in June,
June 11th, I believe, is the
June
date.
11th.
BlizzardBrawl.com, I
But
believe.
who is
the
he
site.
coming as?
Well, I haven't decided yet.
Oh.
Let's go to line 3. Eric in Michigan wants to talk about TNA's ranking system when there's a problem with the Pope's voting status right now. Eric, you're live.
I am not a Nugget. I want to touch on two things here. First of all, they screwed up the AJ Styles Abyss thing. We've had some pretty classic matches, don't you agree?
AJ Styles and Abyss? Classic matches? No.
I mean, come on, AJ Styles jumping out of the crowd with the on Abyss's head.
Okay.
And then the ranking system with Desmond Wolfe being number 1 in the rankings and them just giving him a title shot on Monday, it has nothing to look forward to. You know that Rob Van Dam's not going to lose that title that quick.
Well, yeah, I don't think they should have. I don't think they should have gave the title shot right away. You know what? We had a ranking system for a week. Number 1 person gets the title shot now. Yeah, that was kind of bad.
You can't assume anything when it comes to TNA wrestling.
They're giving the fans what they want.
That's what Dixie tweeted today.
We don't want it right away and get that.
We want to be teased. We want it built up.
Well, hold on. Do you guys honestly think that Desmond Wolfe and Rob Van
Foxy
Dam
Roxy?
would sell pay-per-views?
Absolutely not. Rob Van Dam can sell a pay-per-view
So
for TNA.
give it away on TV, and then save the Jeff Hardy Rob Van Dam match for down the road.
That's where, here's the thing. And thanks for that call, Eric, out in Michigan.
You're getting hot again.
ECW did not do bookings for their pay-per-views, especially based off of who would buy it. They put on good matches. Mike Awesome. I mean, come on, really?
Mike Awesome versus Tanaka was great matches.
Why did there
people
those
loved
great
watching
matches?
those.
But just like
Okay.
RVD Wolf would be a great match.
ECW still in business?
No, they're not in business. They grew too
why.
big too fast.
No, they didn't.
No, ECW did.
What was it then, David?
Again, ECW didn't have a regular TV show except for that satellite.
They were on TNA.
ECW went out of
TNA
business
show wasn't even a
because
real show.
All of their stars left.
True. That was a contributing factor. Yes.
Huge factor.
Yes.
Much like the AWA, everyone left. Now it's a history lesson.
You know what? Here's the thing. So Eric Bischoff was part of AWA when it died.
WCW.
As part of WCW when it died.
Uh-huh.
And
He was in WWE for a while. That
And
certainly
he was
didn't
a
die.
reason why ECW died.
He was another contributing factor.
Yeah, the one that was pulling the talent out of there. He was the one that started it, actually.
Thank you for that call, Eric, out in Michigan. Let's summarize this topic, which has gone a bit longer than I intended for it to go.
What?
And
This is big news.
it is hot news. It is big news. But the final
Is it big or is it hot?
final question to ask
No
as
sauce.
it pertains to this is, what does it mean for WWE? We talked about how much they loaded Raw during the draft. We talked about the fact that the overall production of WWE may be forced to improve due to competition from TNA. Now we don't have those factors. Dave Hero, your thoughts?
Honestly, I think it's been just a bump in the road for Vinnie Mac and company. I mean, yeah, they were watching Impact, while they were doing their own shows. And yeah, Vince, I'm sure he wasn't overly concerned, but it was an annoyance for him. But they don't really care about TNA. They have a brand that is known worldwide. And it's been successful, and they continue to make money, and he's not going to change it yet. He would wait to see what's going to happen.
Meathead, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got to agree. WWE, it was kind of like having a mosquito buzzing around your face. You could let it be. You could just focus on what you're doing and just kind of shoo at it.
I'd kill it. A mosquito?
Shoot.
Fly. Don't bother me. But when it comes down to it, they were never in a war. WWE never recognized them as being in a war.
Well, they
TNA.
did. They did.
They didn't.
By the draft, they did.
They did by the draft. They were watching it. They were aware of what was going on. They were reacting to stuff happening on TNA. They were aware.
I disagree.
Bro,
that's a fact.
Let me tell you. I know for a fact that it was on
That your
their
photo's
radar.
still on?
It's not mine.
Okay.
That they were on Vince's radar to the point where at times during live shows he would be just fuming mad and kicking chairs and throwing stuff around in the back.
This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
WAUK Jackson. Catch Sunday Night Baseball every Sunday on 540 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee Radio Sports Center.
I'm Jay Reynolds. There's been quite a bit of talk for much of the past week about the right elbow of LeBron James, noticeably tentative in Game 2 of the Cavaliers' second-round series against the Boston Celtics. James, 7 of 15 from the floor, 10 of 15 from the free throw line, finishes with 24 points, but the Cavaliers outdone in the second half. They were outscored 31-12 in the third quarter. Boston had a 25-point lead in the fourth quarter. Cleveland would score 15 consecutive points, cutting the lead to 10, but the Celtics would wind up winning by 18, 104-86, splitting the first two games in Cleveland, tying the series at a game apiece as they head back to Boston for Friday's Game 3. King James finishes with 24 points, and how's the elbow?
We never use it as an excuse, never use the injury as an excuse. And like I said before, if I'm on the court, we try to be productive as possible. And I feel like tonight I was okay. But as a team, all of us were just okay, and that's why we got a loss tonight on our court.
An 18-point loss. The series tied at 1 Friday, Game 3 in Boston. The Spurs and Suns opening up their series in Phoenix. Suns with a 55-43 second-quarter lead on San Antonio. Steve Nash, 21 points, handful of assists as well to lead the Spurs offense. NHL. Bruins a 3-2 win at home over the Flyers. Milan Lucic with the tie-breaking goal with 3 minutes to go. Boston takes the first two at home. Philadelphia will host Game 3 on Wednesday. Blackhawks rally from a 2-0 deficit. They beat the Canucks 4-2, tying the series at 1. They split the first two at home. Game 3 Wednesday in Vancouver. Major League Baseball, 11 innings in Cincinnati. Reds beat the Mets 3-2. Lance Nix walk-off pinch hit homer in the bottom of the 11th. Diamondbacks beat the Astros 9-1. Cardinals a 6-3 win in Philadelphia over the Phillies. 6th inning in San Diego. Rockies lead the Padres 2-1. 8th inning in Oakland. Rangers a 3-0 lead on the A's. Twins beat the Tigers 10-4. Wilson Ramos 3 for 4. He's got 7 hits now in his first 2 Major League games, filling in for Joe Mauer. Blue Jays a 5-1 win over the Indians. Brett Cecil took a perfect game to the 7th. Red Sox pound the Angels 17-8.
Sports Center on ESPN Radio and ESPNRadio.com. 540 ESPN. Celebrating 12 years on the air and voted 2009 Broadcast Show of the Year. This is the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Welcome to Hour 2 of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Damian Nelson here with the man they call Meathead and the Dava, Dave Hero. And we are live, as I said, Monday, May 3rd, and we welcome everybody watching us on the brand new video feed at pwrshow.com, where you get a link in here to the studio to see the evilness that David Hero is up to.
How is it evilness? It's honest.
Hey, Fish, I got to throw this out for you, buddy. Watching Impact tonight, and I swear I heard Ric Flair go, "You know where you are! Do you know where you are?" And I thought of you.
You thought of
What does
Fish.
that mean?
Fish loves, in our intro song, he loves "You know where you are? This is WCW."
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That's right.
Hold on a second.
I thought of you.
Thank you, Meathead.
You're welcome.
And you know what? I just thought of you.
Here it goes.
I love Kelly Holcomb.
That's actually not what I thought you were going to do. I thought
Well, we still got some show left.
Let's talk about WWE Raw from tonight, which was headlined by the teaming of The Miz and Chris Jericho.
Uh-oh.
The Miz, now, this is very important. He had a doctor's note, which is why he could not compete tonight. So I hope you all made sure you caught that. I know we were a little despondent because The Miz couldn't wrestle, but he had a doctor's note after taking that punch from, what are you? You're like a child.
I was
Why do
hoping
people
they weren't
look?
coming
That's
for
the
me.
question I have. Okay, so when sirens come and you're clearly inside a building or whatever, and they're going by, why do you have to look? Do you
I
never
want to make
see?
sure they're not coming for me.
Why would they be?
Did you get all your hours in yet?
My hours.
Yeah.
I've never been on community service.
Just
Octavius.
David Hero, your thoughts? The Miz,
Exactly.
The Miz, and Jericho apparently now a team.
I think it's great for both of you guys.
What?
I'm a Miz Marquis.
You know, you're the Jericho guy. Damien's Ms. Marquee.
So you're saying this will finally
you
ease the
guys
tension
can
between
wear,
Damien and Meathead?
Yeah, you guys can wear your cute little T-shirts together and your little pom-poms. And
Whoa,
Miz and
Wow. Nelson is the only one that wears
a minute.
Wears
I've
a
got
tiny T-shirt and pom-pom.
No. Wait a minute. I have no Miz merchandise. Let me make that public. I don't wear any of those T-shirts, so I buy them. If there were one I'd buy, it'd be Ken Anderson's T-shirt in
Pro Wrestling is real. People are fake.
Okay.
And the one soon to be released, I hope.
Well, you know what? Once Team Nelson is done going against Team Hero and Mr. Anderson, you might get a T-shirt sometime. Mm-hmm.
Meathead, your thoughts on The Miz and Chris Jericho going after the tag team champions, the Hart Dynasty?
Is this a tag team now of Big Show rejects? Is that what this is?
Not even. I think that has potential to be one of the most entertaining tag teams.
Do you think
the
Miz is going to win and Jericho are going to win, so Miz is back with 3 belts again?
Absolutely.
Oh, why? He needs to defend the U.S. belt at some point. Do something with it instead of carrying it around.
I can see Miz and Morrison beating the Hart Dynasty and then go to SmackDown and go after Big Show. Serious.
Hi.
Well, other things that happened on Raw tonight, John Morrison will not be Virgil. We found that out, as it looks like that's going to end up being R-Truth's role.
Come on.
What?
You think it would be R-Truth?
Was last week.
No, he said no, but Morrison beat DiBiase this week. R-Truth did not.
It's too bad Hornswoggle's on SmackDown.
Why? Too bad he's stuck in the
Virgil?
airport. He's stuck in O'Hare right now.
I could see him being that guy.
Virgil?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Sure.
No, the bags are taller than he is. No.
It would be entertaining. It'd be
To
good
who?
TV.
To who?
You would love it.
No, I wouldn't. I like the guy.
Why are you raising your voice?
Because I'm getting hot.
You're 3 feet away from me.
We're on microphones. I'm just trying to emphasize a point.
Okay.
I like the guy, but I'm telling you, the stuff that he does is not geared towards me when I'm watching that show. It is not entertaining to me.
It's the PG show. It's not geared towards you?
Probably not.
Okay.
So
John
there you go.
Cena beats the clock and Sheamus attacks David Hero.
They got to keep Sheamus involved in that main event status. Because right now, with Triple H out, what's he going to do? He's got nothing going on. So I wouldn't be surprised that since John Cena now gets to pick the match, it'll be a triple threat.
And get Sheamus in there?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Fella. How good was Batista tonight on the mic?
Fella.
Batista was gold on the mic tonight, I thought, in that opening sequence.
He's been gold since he did the heel turn.
As a heel, especially. He actually, it feels like there's some feeling behind what he says as a heel, as opposed to when he was a face coming out trying to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's him.
Oh.
That is him.
He is the heel.
There was a lot of focus on NXT tonight. We saw Daniel Bryan in a match. We saw Barrett come out and be featured as well.
That guy's going to be a star.
Wade Barrett?
Wade Barrett.
Really? Because of Jericho, or because of the fact that he's a bare-knuckle boxer and he's got the size?
Just because he's got the size, he's got the look, he's got charisma, and he can talk.
His charisma is a little flat for me still, but...
Well, look who he's next to, though. It's kind of hard to, when Jericho overshadows you.
Yeah, well, I mean, here in Milwaukee when NXT debuted and Barrett was supposed to introduce Jericho, he goes, the man who, he goes, dude, just say my name. Just do what you got to do and say it and get out of the way. Classic stuff.
The cutting edge returns and Wayne Brady gets RKO'd.
Oh.
You know what? They showed a replay. He just went down on his knees. He wasn't broken in half the way I thought he was.
It looked like his back to me.
That was terrible.
Terrible, as we see Chuck on the screen there.
Flava Flav is going to be the guest host next week, where David Hero says they should have waited to do the
Beat the Clock matches next week. That would have made perfect sense.
Flava could sit in a pimp chair on the Raw stage and just timed it with the clock he would have brought anyways.
And go, yeah, boy!
You think any of the Flavor of Love chicks will be with him?
They
I don't
have
know.
to be.
But you know what's great about Flav is the fact that after, his original run as a, celebrity was done, he found something else to do, and he's still in pop culture. I'm really happy for him. He's out working.
He's a parody of himself.
He has to be out working. He's got like 36 kids.
Right.
But so what if he's a parody?
How many babies mamas, though?
36.
Probably 35. You might have hit one twice.
We want to know what you guys thought about WWE Raw tonight. Call us in the phone zone, the number 276-3776, or all over the world at 1-800-990-3776. When we come back, we're going to go to a caller in Florida and more of your calls about WWE Raw. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Get the latest from Wilde and Hogrecourt inside the audio vault at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Live from Progressive. Flo here. Today we're talking about savings.
Hey, Flo. I'd love to save on my car insurance, but I don't know where to start.
You start right here. We'll compare our Progressive Direct rate to other top companies so you get a great price.
You'd do that for me?
Just for you and everyone else. Everyone!
Get your free quote. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE or go to Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Mayfield Village, Ohio. Prices vary based on how you buy. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Wednesday!
Hey, why is everyone chanting?
We're protesting that Wednesday only comes once a week.
Huh?
Hello, half-price games at Dave & Buster's every Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah, half off every Dave & Buster's game, even the prize ticket jackpot. Spin and win.
That's great. But Wednesday really can't come more than once a week.
I know, but somehow the chanting, it helps.
Wednesday! Half-price games Wednesdays, only at Dave & Buster's. Escape into play. May not be combined with any other offers. Offer is available for a limited time only.
Tee Off Tuesdays on ESPN Milwaukee is a tradition like no other. Practice your swing and be the next listener to win passes to golf courses in the Milwaukee area. Tune into the D-List and listen for this sound from Caddyshack.
It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
And win free golf passes. Tee Off Tuesdays is brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee and Wisconsin Classic Golf Tour. For as little as $40, you can save hundreds of dollars playing the courses you want to play with the Wisconsin Classic Golf Tour. Tune in to win your free golf passes with the D-List on 540 ESPN.
You've heard real James Imaging Systems customers here on the radio talking about their Toshiba document imaging technology and James local support. Jim Spella, managing partner with Schlamer, the law firm.
They're just not a vendor. They provide the technology, but they have really provided us with some personal service and advice that went beyond what I would have normally expected.
Jerry Curry, owner of Curry Insurance, has several Toshiba copiers and a Toshiba color system from James.
Our idea here is to take care of our customers. So we need people behind us that support our needs to take care of our customer. And James is that way.
James Imaging Systems President Tom Tegeter. James is a local document imaging company. Customer first is job one.
Absolutely. We make decisions locally to help our customers work smarter, save money, and be more competitive.
Toshiba Document Imaging Technology, local support. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner.
It's Mike and Mike in the morning.
Wake up early with Mike and Mike on Tuesday morning. We'll take you all around the bases, including Mark Teixeira from the Yankees, Jason Stark with his baseball thoughts, Jalen Rose on the NBA, and the Hall of Famer Dick Vitale.
Yeah, can the Boston Celtics get back in this and get one on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Wake up early with us. We'll include Rick Riley among our guests. He's got a new book out, and we'll see you bright and early. Mike and Mike.
I better get out of here while they're getting good.
Mike and Mike in the morning on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
You can learn a lot about a car company just by listening to its cars. How solid it is. How efficiently it runs. How well it drives years down the road. One car company puts its quality out there every day for everyone to hear. General Motors. Because we know building quality cars is the most important thing we can do. That's why we back our cars with the best coverage in America. The 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Fully transferable limited powertrain coverage for up to 5 years or 100,000 miles. Plus, roadside assistance and courtesy transportation on most cars and light-duty trucks we sell. Confidence you can trust in a car you'll absolutely love. Want to know the kind of company GM really is? All you have to do is listen. We let our cars do the talking. To hear more about General Motors and the kinds of cars we build, visit gm.com. 5 years, 100,000 miles, whichever comes first. See dealer for warranty details.
They're the Starsky and Hutch of sports talk. It's Drew Olson and Dan Needles on the D-List. Weekdays at 11 on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Yeah! You know, when I graduated from Parkman Middle School here in Milwaukee, I couldn't get over the fact that they were playing the Macho Man's music at graduation.
Did you walk out and spin around with your finger
No,
in the air?
and I was master of ceremonies as well. I didn't realize that this was like, you know, a song used at graduations and whatnot. I thought it was a Macho Man song. I was that big a mark.
And there's nothing wrong with being a mark, Damien. It's okay. I've gone through counseling. I've learned these things.
Speaking of Mark, when is that I'm a Mark T-shirt going to come back out again, the retro version of it?
Ooh.
It's available right now at pwrshow.com in the shop section.
Go
Lots
in
of
there.
merchandise available there as well.
I
Coming
think it's called
soon, some
Stores,
additional
Damien.
merchandise coming to the pwrshow.com website. And thanks to all of you watching, listening, and participating in the show as well. The Chatmosphere,
And
which
that
we have yet to reference tonight.
BHHS shirt is going to be
You
out
can't
soon.
even say it yet. Come on.
I just wanted to catch myself to make sure I didn't say something wrong.
Yes, lots of new material coming. The production team working on some new merchandise getting out there for the population out in the PWR world. Let's go to the phone zones. A very patient Gilberto in Florida wants to talk about Miz and Jericho. You're live.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey.
You know, Damien, I totally agree. The Miz and Jericho are going to be a great tag team. I mean, these two, Jericho, he's going to show the Miz so much because the Miz, he's pretty awesome right now. But with Jericho's help, the guy who's wrestled all over the world can wrestle with anybody and have a great match. And really, it's not a cliche. He really is the best in the world at what he does. He's going to show the Miz.
What?
It's not a cliche. It's
Jericho.
It's a loaded statement.
Really?
I'm the best in the world at what I do. Dave Hero is the best in the world at what he does, and Damian Nelson is the best in the world at what
Everything.
he does.
Yeah, but
You really think Jericho is the best in the world?
Well, who
And
else?
what he does.
Well,
That's the key part of that statement.
Like
And
I
what
said,
he
it's
does.
a loaded
Okay.
statement.
That's interesting.
well, just about TNA, you know, I think I'm kind of disappointed that they're going back to Thursday nights. You know, I really thought, like I said a couple weeks ago, if they should stop worrying about the ratings so much and just focus on what they're trying to do. It doesn't matter what day they're on. You know, I know Monday is the bigger wrestling
It's
audience.
about business, though. It's
It's
about
about
money.
the money, baby.
You know what? I watched and thanks for that call, Gilberto. I watched a special on CNBC, I think, last night about Apple computers. And obviously, Apple's, you know, the holy grail of computing right now. But it took them a long time to get there, and it was when they focused on creating products that people want and not trying to beat Microsoft. That's when they achieve success. And that's the point Gilberto is making as well. That's what TNA needs to be doing. Focus on being successful and not worry so much about WWE.
You could also get
Any
into-
good business knows about its competition and is aware of its competition, but doesn't need to be referencing its competition all the time. So let's see if TNA does this.
You can get into a problem with that, though, and you can get a big head like Vince McMahon or like a Steve Jobs, where Steve Jobs thinks he can tell people like, what was the issue he had with, was it Adobe right now? He says Adobe's
No
not,
flash.
not suited for his iPhone. Well, who do you think you are to tell people that you need to fix this
He's
to get
Steve
it going?
Jobs.
I don't care about Steve Jobs. I
You
care
don't,
if you're
but
Bill
you're not.
Gates. I don't care if
That's
you're
not
Steve
a Mac
Jobs.
in front of you, so he doesn't care about you either.
That's my point, though. That's where when you get that
I
elitist
don't care
attitude,
about
like a Vince
any
McMahon.
of this right now. I want to go back to Chris Jericho.
I brought it back to Vince McMahon.
He's
That's
not
where you
the
can go
best ever. Kurt Angle.
He didn't say best ever. He's not
The
ever.
best
He's
at what he
saying
does.
he's the best in the world at what he does.
And what does he do?
Exactly.
That's the part that leaves it open for
It's a
interpretation.
loaded question.
I don't like those kind of questions. It's not fair.
Bowman from Boston, you're live on line one.
Did you pause for effect?
He's up around there somewhere, up from around those parts, isn't he?
Nah, I don't even know. I'm too
No, I
young
thought
to
they were
remember
from Philly,
play-by-play.
actually.
Your thoughts on Miz and Jericho?
Just
You are a
awesome.
fellow Miz Marquis, from what I recall.
Oh, definitely. I love the Miz and I love Jericho, and this is a team that I wanted to see a year ago. That's now finally together. It's going to be great to see them break the walls of awesome down. It's just going to be an awesome tag.
Break the walls of awesome, huh?
Meathead, I bet you cannot wait for that remix of that theme song.
I like the music, dude. Don't give me a hard time about it.
You're
going to
have it at your wedding, aren't you? That'll be the first dance you guys have. It'll be
Dude,
the
you've
Jericho
already,
Miz
are
theme
you
song.
DJing it? Because you've already got Hillbilly Jim playing. You've already got Jericho Miz remix.
The Hillbilly Jim dance is, for the whole, the whole group of people that are going to be there.
Whatever.
And I noticed I got called out on I'm pretty much on the show earlier saying I'm part of the same old of a PWR apparently.
Okay.
You're one of those 5 guys.
Yeah, that you see every. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure those can call in, and hopefully their phone's not broken and they have something intelligent to say. Everybody gets free night and weekends.
No.
That is true. You know what? We welcome everybody to call, and Fish working behind the glass does not he's not selective with the callers. So anybody who wants to call can call. You know how it is, Bowman. Some people just like to talk about it and not do anything about it. So
hate for the sake of hate.
For the cases, if I'm one of the same 5 guys, since I'm in Boston, I'll take the role of John Cena as one of those same 5 guys.
Hey man, you're over.
Can we
That's
give
all
you
that
theme
matters.
music just because I want to hear it? Ship it out to Boston. Dropkick, no. Fish says no. I love that song. Can I sing it? Instead? I'm shipping up. Okay. All right, Bowman, thanks for calling in to the Pro Wrestling Report. Gentlemen, let's talk about TNA Impact. And I really think that there's one very, very interesting thing that came out of it. And that's what everybody wants to hear about, and that is the ozone.
Do we really? Because I gave you my comments on the ozone already.
The ozone, it's the death of everything.
I was joking.
You know what? That's probably why TNA is going back to Thursday nights.
Why is that?
That segment there kills the show.
Did it tonight?
Oh, absolutely. It was ridiculous. It accomplished nothing. How do you give those 2 guys mic time to try to start a
right.
feud?
Well, as a matter of fact, we were doing primetime last week. We talked about
here
this.
Again.
Right.
Okay, buddy. Yep, that's going to sell tickets.
We were talking about primetime last week, and we talked about this particular segment, and we had just found out about it. And I was like, really? Those 2? Really? I mean, his guess should have been Lethal. The Guns would have been tremendous.
No, you know what? If you want to get that segment over, then you bring out Rob Van Dam, you bring out Jeff Hardy, you bring out AJ Styles.
People that people want to see.
Absolutely. But I will say this, according to the TNA voting poll, more people want to see Rob Terry than the Pope.
Oh, actually, by the way, that poll's been reset, David Hero.
I'm sure it has.
Let's go to the standings as they are
Jerry
right now.
Lewis, ladies and gentlemen, going to give us a new
We're going to the
result.
tote. You see that? There's a clip of him going off about going to the tote. Somebody messed something up on South Island. Desmond Wolfe ahead again, 22% of the votes, followed by Jeff Hardy with 19% of the votes, followed by Brother Ray with 10% of the votes, then followed by somebody had 9.
Are you serious? They made a new poll?
There's a new poll.
There's a new poll every week.
Oh, this is a joke.
Followed by a tie between Sting and Mr. Anderson. And then from there, it's Rhino.
This right here is going to shoot the entire TNA in the foot.
Oh,
now they're making a mockery out of it.
And the Pope is right after Rhino.
Yeah, what a joke.
Well, how are they making a mockery of it? What's wrong with it?
Because they're going to keep doing it until they get the winner that they want.
No, it looks as if it's going to be every week and then every week, because Desmond got his match tonight.
Okay.
He won last week, so they're going to do this every week, I guess.
All right.
They should have let it go longer, much like we did with the poll at PWRshow.com throughout the duration of the Monday Night War, all 8 weeks of it. And we'll give you the final results of that poll when we come back. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
Skeptics say that it's not the best time to build, but this may really be the best time to invest in your business. History shows that in times like this, fortunes are made by those who prepared for the next economic rebound. If your business needs a new building, General Steel Corporation can literally save you thousands of dollars without ever cutting quality. Now may be the time to stop paying rent and own your facility. Perhaps you need a building that fits your needs more efficiently and allows you to streamline operations. The General can help. We'll work with you to design the right building at the right price. A pre-engineered steel building that could save you as much as half the cost and time of conventional construction, as much as half. All backed by their 50-year structural warranty. Call 877-93-STEEL. The General has helped thousands of businesses and churches own their own building and build equity. For free information, call 877-93-STEEL. Ask about rebates that could save you up to $20,000.
Talk Brewers all day long on 540 ESPN.
I like this deal. When you consider Randy Wolf got a 3-year deal for $30 million. You got Giovanni Gallardo through all his arbitration and a year of free agency.
for $30 million. I think Ricky Weeks can be the MVP of this team because if he plays at the level that he's capable at the top of the lineup, he's going to set up Braun and Trent.
540 ESPN. All you really want to hear is sports.
A young African man saw the misery around him, and he grew angry. He asked his minister why people had to suffer. He cried, "Why doesn't God do something?" "He has," his pastor said. "He created you." That's how Desmond Tutu, later Archbishop of South Africa, became the answer to his own question. He also became the first black African to lead South Africa's Anglican Church, and he helped end his country's apartheid. This is Howard Butt Jr. of Laity Lodge. Like it did for Archbishop Tutu, a call comes to a person where he is in the things that stir his passions. What problems face you and others? How can you be an answer? It's the high calling of our daily work.
For more information, visit ourdailywork.org.
Backstretch grandstands losing their minds. Mark Martin for the final time off the end of the back chute.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on MRN Radio. Coverage continues Saturday with the Showtime Southern 500 from Darlington Raceway. Hear it live at 5:30 p.m. on MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR. And for ticket information, go to myracetravel.com.
Saturday night at 5:30 on 540 ESPN. Brought to you by Durzon and Menard.
540 ESPN Text Club members get the breaking news on the Packers, Brewers, Badgers, and Bucks. Sign up today at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Holler if you hear me.
If I could only cut a promo like Steiner used to back in his WCW days. Huh. Are there any marbles in here?
There's Cheetos. You could try that. Try with Cheetos in your mouth.
I didn't mean to cut a promo like that.
You know, it's always been said that I was the one that said this. Dave Hero, you got to watch your language, man.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen during the breaks, and you sometimes can catch some of that video at pwrshow.com on the live video stream.
Seriously, though, looking at that poll,
hey, can you clean it up and remake that statement?
How do you put Hernandez on that poll? Are you kidding me?
No, that's where you go. Really, Hernandez?
Seriously?
Really?
There were actually some other names on there I was surprised to see, and I've gone away from the poll at this point. But
yeah, I'm gone away from it too.
Doing it every week makes some sense, I guess. Here's the thing: why is American Idol so popular? Because people vote and they think their votes matter. It's still one of the top shows on. They're down, but it's still one of the top shows on TV. Interaction is key, and I think this is going to gain them some more buy-in from the viewers out there.
As long as it stays legitimate the way it is, because WWE really just crap all over their stuff. I mean, when they were doing Taboo Tuesday and Cyber Sunday, I mean, it was a work. Everyone knew it was a work.
The final results in Razor 2910 in the Chatmosphere at PWRshow.com just referenced one of, I'm going to call it Scott Steiner's greatest moment, the pogo stick situation and clip, which can be viewed at PWRshow.com.
With the Benny Hill music.
Scott Steiner at on an episode of TNA Impact.
Yep.
Were you allowed to watch this show when you were a kid?
Absolutely.
You, Dave?
Of course I could.
Really?
Why not?
I wasn't. Maybe
well,
that's why I'm such a pure person.
It was on Channel 10, right? Or was it late night on?
This was Channel 18.
Yeah?
Yeah, Channel 10, dude. You got that confused with Sesame Street.
No. It was Saturday nights late because there was a choice between Saturday Night Live and Benny Hill.
The results of the Monday night show poll at PWRshow.com, now that war is over.
Wasn't a war.
The fans out there in the universe that is the Pro Wrestling Report.
The IWC.
53.3% goes to the winner. Of who had the better show on Monday nights, that was the question. Mm-hmm. Voting up since March 8th, closing out today. Who has the better show on Monday nights? 53.3% of the votes go to TNA Impact.
Congratulations.
Well, it wasn't a work. Yeah, congratulations.
They
now
won
get off
something.
on Monday. Congratulations.
That's
Now go
going to
back
get
to
him real
Thursday.
far.
Yeah. That and $1 gets you a cup of coffee.
46.7% for WWE Raw. Now, just an interesting series of results from the thousands of people who voted there for that. Speaking of WWE Raw, let's go down to Matt in Oklahoma on the phone, who wants to talk about tonight's guest host, Wayne Brady. Matt, you're live.
Hey, guys, what's up? Man, I don't know about you guys, but I thought Wayne Brady was actually one of the better hosts when he was out there with Edge and Orton. I thought he actually sold the RKO like a champ. I mean, he looked dead. He had to get scraped up off the mat with a snow shovel, man.
He did. He was pretty good. It was pretty good. I had my reservations when he came out during the Cutting Edge because, you know, we had to hear all night about how in the last 3.5 years we hadn't seen the Cutting Edge on Raw. So, yeah, no, I thought he did a good job. He was not better than Bob Barker, certainly not better than William Shatner.
He wasn't Bob Barker. He was Wayne
Do you
Darker.
think Regis would guest host Phobin?
Oh, he'd be great.
He'd be tremendous.
No.
Why wouldn't he?
Shatner, awesome. Barker, awesome.
You know who else would be good?
Would be great.
NPH.
Neil Patrick?
Yeah.
I think so.
No.
Neil Patrick Harris?
No.
As long as he's doing
Do you
Neil
watch How I
Patrick.
Met Your Mother?
I haven't watched in a while, but no.
All right.
Give me Harold and Kumar, MPH.
Ah. Thank you, Matt, from down in Oklahoma, for calling. And talk about some hot news. We've got
coming hot
the
news.
first bit. No, just the first bit. This is like a hot news preview.
Okay.
There's been a lot of discussion about Jim Ross's status with WWE. Well, here's what we know right now. Jim Ross's contract as a talent with WWE, as an on-air talent with WWE, did indeed expire this past Friday.
Did it lapse?
It lapsed. It expired. It was not picked up for renewal. His talent contract. However, he is still an employee of WWE, working with the Talent Relations Group. So, it doesn't mean that he's going to stay an employee of WWE, but it does mean that he is no longer in a talent role, in an on-air performing role with WWE, and has publicly stated that he doesn't want to be a GM. He doesn't want to get into any type of angle in WWE. Says that to some fans who suggested that he come back and simply call the pay-per-view shows. That's not in the cards. They don't want him on air. With the way this is all shaken out, Jim Ross got sick. I believe it was October of last year. He's been off TV ever since. Many thought he would come back for WrestleMania. We know Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker wanted him to call that match.
Yeah.
We know he wanted to call that match. We know that a big event is amplified by Jim Ross's presence. But now Jim Ross, not a man who will be part of WWE TV, the new guard has taken over. And what are your thoughts, Meathead?
It's a sad day because, you know, as
It's
much
a shame.
as something. It's a sad day because as much as I've given Jim Ross a hard time on this program, Jim Ross is the voice of WWE. You know, Austin said that when he won the belt at WrestleMania 14, he pictured Jim Ross calling the match for him as he was, you know, plotting out the match. All these guys coming up, you know, that watched that WrestleMania 14 match that are coming up now, they're in the business, all wanted Jim Ross to call their matches for him because Jim Ross is the voice. I mean, you know, when you think of wrestling over the last, 10, 15 years, Jim Ross is the voice that's in the back of your head. Now, Michael Cole, as we've said, does the job he's supposed to do. He just doesn't seem to have enough passion in what he's doing, and I don't think there's a lot of chemistry with him and King. Now, Stryker and Grisham, again, company guy, does what he's supposed to do. Stryker, however, Stryker actually has some passion, and Stryker has a bit of an edge to himself. So, you know what? I don't know if we're going to see a Jim Ross-like person in WWE for a long time.
David Hero, your thoughts? JR gone from an on-air performing role with WWE. He's not gonna work there anymore.
Has he really been missed?
And that's the question. Has he been missed by all WWE fans? I don't think they necessarily care, but
I think he's been forgotten by a lot of fans.
Exactly. And it seems as if WWE, knowing that they need to move in a different direction because JR won't be there all forever, it was smart of them not to use him, as much as it may have sucked.
Needs JR because he's the kind of guy that can get the talent over
Yeah.
He's the guy that can tell the story.
Absolutely.
He's the guy that can get people emotionally invested into their talent.
But who would it be, JR and Taz?
Of course.
They're a good team.
Would it be JR
You
and
can have a
Taz?
three.
Are you going to go have a three-man?
You can have a three-man booth there.
Well,
Absolutely.
Tenay was
Just because Scott Hudson, Tony Schiavone, and Mark Madden were the craps.
Tenay, no. Tenay was good in the three-man booth when it was the Schiavone, Tenay, and Heenan. I thought Tenay did a great job.
No, there you have it. You got Tenay is like the expert.
Yeah,
okay?
Tenay is the expert.
Bobby,
Tenay is the
call him
striker.
the professor.
The professor. You had Bobby. He was the funny ha-ha guy.
Right, and the heel.
And you had Schiavone.
And he was the heel.
And you have Schiavone who's trying to tell the story.
Right. JR
So,
tells a great story.
He tells the best
a
story in the
great
business.
story.
That's where he'll wind up in TNA.
Really?
Really?
Are you marking the tape?
You can mark it.
Well, here's the thing. We know that there was a meeting between Jim Ross and potentially Dixie Carter and potentially her father, Bob Carter, down in Texas. JR made a point to say that he did not meet with another vice president of TNA, but did not address whether or not he had met with Dixie as part of trying to debunk that rumor, if you will. And I think the chances there, here's the thing. JR still wants to call matches. And if WWE is not going to give him that opportunity to call matches, then his only option is to go to TNA, really. Now, he's been following MMA, wants to get involved with MMA, has said that publicly. But, I just don't know where, if we'll see JR broadcasting again. And when you really think of some of the great moments, how different would King of the Ring 1998 have been during that match between Mick Foley and The Undertaker if JR had not been calling that match?
Well, who can you put in that spot calling that match? Instead of JR, who would have been?
I'm just saying, how different would it have been had JR not been there?
By God, he killed him!
The same way with Austin and Bret Hart.
Right, at WrestleMania 13.
Mm-hmm. That made Steve Austin.
Yeah.
We all may not have realized what Steve Austin was going through if it wasn't for JR.
Time to sink in, right?
Right.
Sink in.
Austin 316, right down the street,
sure.
Emanating here in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that was the birth of
that was
Stone
King
Cold.
of the Ring.
King of the Ring 96.
No.
I'm just saying, and we've had that conversation, and somebody in this room disagreed at the time that JR contributed to the product, but JR, it is unmeasurable. It was me, Dad. It is unmeasurable.
That was years ago, by the way.
That was weeks ago. It is
wasn't
unmeasurable. Cal, find the tape. It's unmeasurable how much JR contributes to the product, and if he were contributing to the product in TNA, he said on TV before on WWE, man, that was ugly. A couple of bad matches have happened.
That was hole and shoe ugly.
Oh, that was just bad. But we'll see where it goes. But at this point, he is not working on air for WWE and will not be. So we're gonna take a time out. When we come back, we got another caller from down in Florida, and we're gonna talk more about all the latest news in professional wrestling, including hot news. Right after this timeout, this is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Did you miss an interview? Don't worry. Listen to it right now on ESPNMilwaukee.com inside the audio vault.
Kevin Richards is concerned about sending his identity out into the world.
Oh, no. What now? Hey, Gav, you know how you're always going on how I can't protect myself? Yeah, because you can't. I can. I'm taking karate. Any of those bad guys try to snatch me up? Ooh, whammo. Wait, stop, okay? No, you're just a bundle of numbers and personal data. Who can handle himself? And you broke it. You see that? Karate.
Wondering where your identity goes? It's time to get total protection from Identity Guard. You'll get the kind of protection and information that helps you keep track of what your identity is up to 24/7, so you know what's going on. It's protection no matter where your identity goes. Identity Guard, making it okay to trust again.
Did you know that you can also use a credit card as a weapon? Ow. Okay, now I do know.
Visit IdentityGuard.com today. That's IdentityGuard.com.
Here's where 540 ESPN will be this week.
Enjoy playing bingo and winning great prizes? Love watching the Brew Crew? Then head on over to Potawatomi Bingo Casino Sunday, May 9th to join Homer and the ESPN Milwaukee Street Team for Fire Pit Baseball. Help cheer on the Brew Crew as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks and participate in fun games such as baseball bingo for the chance to win amazing prizes. And don't forget to tune into all of your favorite 540 ESPN shows to hear all the sports talk you can handle. For more info on events and happenings, log on to ESPNMilwaukee.com.
Of all the things I think about every day, stroke wasn't one of them. Then my brother, who always took care of himself, had one. I was telling my doctor, and he said 4 out of 5 people who have a stroke never show symptoms. And he said 80% of strokes can be prevented when identified early. So I decided to get screened by Lifeline Screening. In about an hour, Lifeline Screening did a series of non-invasive screenings using sonograms to look inside my arteries and determine my risk for stroke and heart disease.
If you're over 50, Lifeline Screening has screening packages that can help detect the warning signs so you can prevent a stroke and heart disease from happening to you.
When I got the results, I went to my doctor who developed a treatment plan. Now, I know I'm doing the right things to keep healthy.
Lifeline Screening's community health screenings are coming to your neighborhood. Appointments are limited. Make yours now. Call 888-719-TEST. That's 888-719-TEST. 888-719-TEST.
Talk Brewers all day long on 540 ESPN.
The special year that Braun and Fielder had combined is something that you don't want to take advantage of.
I think the human rain delay, Doug Davis, is going to be very important as that left-hander. It's going to go out and eat up innings and get the job done.
If you could go get a pitcher, if there were free agents like Giovanni Gallardo who had existed with his service time and with his age and experience on the market, you'd pay that, if not more.
540 ESPN. All you really want to hear is sports.
This is Packers wide receiver Greg Jennings, and you're listening to 540 ESPN.
You only got 2 more weeks, Meatball.
2 weeks? We're talking 10 days. Don't go messing with the man named me.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN at ESPNMilwaukee.com.
I do love this song, by the way. It just ain't getting played at.
By the way, we did have some Hillbilly Jim talk before the show started.
Yes.
Because we were trying to come up with a list of people that haven't turned on Hogan when they were his disciple. And Hillbilly Jim, which I suggested, was the only person that we came up with.
It could be it. Actually, that may be it.
So Uncle Elmer turned on him?
Well, he was never really in a program with Hogan.
I got you.
Come on. Let's go to the phone line and the phone zone. Glenn down in Orlando wants to talk a little bit about WWE's tag team division. Glenn, you're live.
Hey, guys. How you doing tonight?
Hey, Glenn.
Tremendous.
Right now, to me, the tag team division is a joke right now. You got the Bella Twins, the Hart Dynasty on Raw.
Whoa.
The Bella Twins?
The Bella Twins in the tag division?
Can I finish?
All right. Don't get hot about it.
The Dude Busters, the Shredded Society, and Team Lay Cool on SmackDown. Now you got 5 teams, 2 female teams and 3 male teams. They need to improve their tag team division or lose the tag team titles altogether, in my opinion. If you were Vince McMahon, what would you do to improve the tag team division, or would you lose the tag team titles altogether? And if you can, educate myself and others from where they were hot to how they got bad, because I just can't see how they got really bad. I don't know.
Glenn, thanks for that call. JR said it best. When's the last time a tag team match headlined a pay-per-view? Not a 4-way, not a 6-way, any of that.
Tag team matches?
SummerSlam. DX versus Legacy.
I'm sorry. God, you and your semantics.
Yeah.
When's the last time a tag team match main evented a pay-per-view?
Okay.
Tag matches don't make money.
Yeah, they do.
They can.
They used to make big money.
They used
Think
to.
of the Rock
They're
and Roll
not now.
Express.
They're not
Think
now.
of the Midnight Express.
Oh, they
Think
used
of
to make
LOD.
lots of money.
Think
They
of,
used to make lots of money back then.
Think of Mega Powers versus Mega Bucks.
Back then. We're talking about in the year
the
2000 and
Conquistadors,
beyond.
all 78 of them.
Yeah, the year 2000 when you had Edge and Christian against the Hardys and the Dudleys.
And beyond. What I'm saying now is the tag team division doesn't make any money. That's why Vince McMahon doesn't go to the tag team
you know
division.
why?
There's more money in the individual.
And here's why. When was the last time you saw a tag team in a developmental company come up?
That started as a tag team and
The
continued
Highlanders?
through as a tag team. That's an excellent point. That just
The
doesn't
Highlanders?
happen.
Maybe the Highlanders and the Hart Dynasty. That's
Cade
really
and
been
Murdoch?
about it. No, they
were put
weren't
together?
That's an excellent point, though. They're not coming up as tag teams.
No, they're all
And why is
singles.
that? There's no indie leagues, really.
To
There's
build
no
tag
territory
and,
in the world anymore.
and here's the amazing thing is that Steve Kern is one of the trainers down at FCW?
Yeah.
He was a part of one of the top 20 tag teams of all time, the Fabulous Ones.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone understands tag team wrestling, it's him. They had Robert Gibson training in OVW with Al Snow.
Yeah.
A great tag team wrestler from the Rock and Roll Express. They just don't put any money into tag teams right now for some reason. And
because there's not enough money. Again, the money's in the individual, being able to market the individual first.
But there can be. You get the right tag team, you get the right storyline surrounding them, you get the right.
But if you don't have
on.
enough tag teams, it's not just tag team, it's tag teams plural to have storylines.
They need to have 5. I don't know. 5 is the right number of solid tag teams. But here's the thing: they never have one tag team that stands out. Like when they had Crime Time, or when they have Hart Dynasty, or MVP and Mark Henry, they would always put them up against 2 singles guys that were stronger than the tag team itself.
And what they would do also is they'd put them up against, and when they had tag teams, they'd put them up against a hot single wrestler, just because it's a way to force it down that single wrestler's throat, and that single wrestler was always going over on the tag team, so the tag team was weak.
No, Triple H
did that.
Too. That's it.
No, Triple H wasn't the only
Triple
one.
H beat
Cena
the
did
entire
it too.
Raw roster one night.
Yeah.
One night. Right. I still. It doesn't matter to me how many teams there are. If I can get into a situation where I'm intrigued by a single feud between 2 tag teams, why do I need 7 more? It's all in the story and all in what they're giving as far as I'm concerned. So all this mumbo-jumbo about the tag team division, I don't think the number of teams determines whether or not there's a division. It's what they overall present with what they have.
There is no division in WWE. As
No,
far as
if
tags
you look
go.
back at the late 80s, you had Sheik and Volkov, Killer Bees, the Bulldogs, the Dream
There was
Team,
a good
the
10 to
Rougeaus,
15
the Heart
things.
Foundation,
10 to
Demolition,
15.
Powers of Pain, Young
TNA,
Stallions,
you know what, Dave?
Conquistadors.
TNA actually has a tag team division. Another tag team came up tonight.
But neither one has been strong.
Right.
They don't have more tag teams than WWE.
No, TNA has more tag teams.
I don't think they do.
They might.
They do.
They got the Guns.
New tag
Beer
team
Money.
tonight was
Beer
Inc.
Money.
Inc.
Dudley's.
There's a new team tonight. Inc.
The
Inc.
Band.
Yep.
Inc. Incorporated.
Okay. At 5.
Yeah.
Hardy Boys Light.
Whatever they're called.
Generation Me. I
I
think.
haven't seen them in a while, by the way, and hadn't noticed it until you mentioned their name a moment ago. So anyway, that's my opinion on the whole tag team business. I think it's blown out of proportion. They just need to give, and I'm very intrigued by now that the Hart Dynasty have the tag title. Tag title.
It's not going to last long. They're already setting it up for Miz and Jericho to beat them.
Fine, toss them back and forth for a couple months.
It's
Create
not
a story.
going to happen.
Why not?
Because then they're going to go after Big Show on
Weren't you
SmackDown.
the same guy that said last week the Hart Dynasty was going to run with the belts for a while?
That's what I thought, but now, of course, things change from week to week. Not very pleased right now.
So you're hot about it. You're saying it.
No, I'm just not pleased.
Well, speaking of tag teams, we have an advanced copy of TNA Fandemonium.
How'd you get that?
It's a DVD coming out on the end of May, actually, but I've got one in my hand right here, actually, and we're going to be giving that out, featuring Motor City Machine Guns and Beer Money Incorporated. Fifth caller right now from the Milwaukee area gets that, along with some T-shirts, actually, some TNA Wrestling T-shirts. That's available to the fifth caller right now from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or the southeastern Wisconsin area. If you can come on down to the station and pick it up. And no, David, you cannot have one.
I don't want one.
Mm-hmm. This is the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
540 ESPN.
Since OnStar began, we've responded to over 100,000 automatic crash alerts.
OnStar emergencies.
Yeah, we're going to need an ambulance out here. There's a real bad accident here.
All right, sir. I'm contacting the 911 center.
In a crash, an OnStar advisor can automatically receive an alert.
911.
This is OnStar emergency. I have a vehicle crash airbag deployment at Swan Lake Road. They are saying there are injuries. I'll conference you in.
Who is injured?
Oh, I don't know. My knees are broken. It's a hell of a wreck.
Dispatch, I'm showing the maximum reported Delta V was 18 miles per hour from the front.
Okay, thank you. We have an ambulance and first responders on the way.
With built-in automatic crash response, an OnStar advisor can use GPS technology to locate you and share crash details, which could help save your life.
The ambulance is here.
I do hope everything will be okay with you, sir.
Okay.
OnStar is standard for the first year on 15 Chevy models. Visit OnStar.com for details and system limitations.
Talk Packers all day long on 540 ESPN.
I think Ryan Grant had a better season than Adrian Peterson. Fumbling the ball is a huge deal.
People want to rip Ted Thompson for anything. And nobody's ripping Ted Thompson for letting Aaron Campbell sign with the Jaguars.
To me, it says that Ted Thompson really believes that the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl in 2010 or have an excellent chance to do that.
540 ESPN. All you really want to hear is sports.
Hey, America. How do you use WebEx?
We use WebEx for our fantasy football draft.
I use WebEx to record meetings, so anyone who misses it can see it, hear it, and get up to speed quickly.
My son came home from school sick yesterday. Thanks to WebEx, I didn't miss the client meeting. I saw everything right on my cell phone.
Got an idea? Start a WebEx. Connect online and share what's on your computer screen with others, cross-town or cross-country. Share presentations. Conduct training sessions. You can even pass the ball and let others take control. Go to WebEx.com and try WebEx free. Just click the radio graphic and enter promo code EASY to get a free trial and a free VoIP headset. Remember that code, EASY. WebEx from Cisco. WEBEX.com. Free headsets available while supplies last. Terms and restrictions apply. See website for details. Go to WebEx.com and click the radio graphic and enter promo code EASY.
It's Mike and Mike in the morning.
Wake up early with Mike and Mike on Tuesday morning. We'll take you all around the bases, including Mark Teixeira from the Yankees, Jason Stark with his baseball thoughts, Jalen Rose on the NBA, and the Hall of Famer Dick Vitale.
Yeah, can the Boston Celtics get back in this and get one on the road against the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Wake up early with us. We'll include Rick Riley among our guests. He's got a new book out, and we'll see you bright and early. Mike and Mike.
I better get out of here while they're getting good.
Mike and Mike in the morning on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.
This is Phil Hellmuth, Wisconsin native and God's gift to poker. Have an ego, son? And you're listening to 540 ESPN Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you tuning in to see WCW Nitro, we are unfortunately here to report that Panama City Beach, Florida, was the last location for WCW Nitro, March of 2001. Wow, that was almost 9 years ago.
You know, that's where Ron and the Best Man are coming from. They'll be flying up this week.
9 years ago.
Mm-hmm. When I was down there, and I believe it was 06, 07, I visited the graveyard.
How'd that make you feel?
Hurt.
Did you shed a tear?
Hurt inside.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you like bend down and grab a piece of some sand off the beach and put a little?
No,
baggie?
it was a parking lot in the front. Oh. I mean, the club is still open, but
gotcha.
Welcome back to the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com. Actually, it's time to go to hot news. It's always fun to just get the hot news.
Can we get this out of the way?
We can get it out of the way.
Get the pink elephant out of the way here.
Oh, wait. What are you talking about?
Oh, we're talking about your main mandible. The show that you tune into every single morning. Fish, I need you to tell them who it is.
I thought I did my hot news intro right about now.
Yeah, while you're walking all over them, go Fish.
No, that's all right. It is a sponge named Bubba that we love so much, correct?
Oh, I like SpongeBob. SquarePants? SpongeBob SquarePants!
Really?
That's a good show.
No, your boy,
It's a great show.
Bubba the Love Sponge, is setting up the biggest angle in the history of TNA, as far as I'm concerned.
Let me tell you this, buddy. You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're wrong. You're dead wrong.
Wrong.
You don't think that Bubba and Hogan are in cahoots in this whole thing, and they're going to have a big match at some
No, not at all.
pay-per-view?
Not if you have listened to that pathetic excuse for a show, in my opinion, and the malicious, hurtful, and insulting things that him and his staff have said to wrestling fans in general. There's absolutely no way that this is going to result in a wrestling contest. I just don't see that happening. I could be wrong.
Okay.
I am not, though. I'm as sure about this. I am sure about this.
As I was about Sheamus?
As you were about Sheamus, and as you were about Swagger. And as sure as I was about The Miz years ago.
Years ago?
Why are you
Years
screaming?
ago.
Why are you yelling? Don't get hot.
Years ago, yeah. It's not going to happen. He is gone. That one guy got fired.
BTLS.
Here's the part that's most surprising out of all of it. They were paying him
to be there and do what he did?
Yep.
You think he was getting paid?
No, he said so.
Well, of course he would.
I don't doubt it. Nah.
Well,
especially as much as they paid
think
that Survivor chick to hang out with the main event mafia.
They paid her $500,000.
Unbelievable.
You know that?
Jenna Maraska?
Yeah. How about that?
Priorities. Well, he is gone, so good riddance. And no, it's not going to result in an angle. CM Punk, however, may end up having a match with an elderly woman.
Come again?
At a house show in Knoxville, Tennessee this past weekend, he was actually slapped in the face by a fan at ringside who said to him, "You're not Jesus."
Was that the one that you watched wrestling with tonight? I don't know if it was the same show or not, you know.
Knoxville's not too far away, especially if we can get the stream checked. That'd be tremendous.
Fail.
Now, this is something that used to be fairly normal.
And
when
talking about old women with purses?
Some of the legends that we've had on this program have talked about it. People take this stuff very seriously.
Roddy Piper's been, stabbed 3 times?
Mm-hmm. A lot of it happened right down the street in Milwaukee's Mecca Arena.
Or at the auditorium.
Crusher Country, baby.
Mm-mm.
So that happened in Knoxville, Tennessee. CM Punk, being a complete professional in the whole thing, didn't attack back. And she was escorted
what is he
out of
gonna
the
do?
arena.
You know?
There's not much you can do at that point.
If he hits her, then he's the biggest
Just
heel
yell.
in the world.
All you do is yell. You
Just
stand
walk
on your
away
side.
and say, security, take care of this.
And that's my philosophy in a street fight as well.
Yeah.
Walk away.
Unless, of
they're
course,
spending the night in
unless,
jail.
of course, Jose Canseco's threatening you and you got Armando Estrada.
And that explains
watching
exactly why Damien got beat up in high school.
Throughout that whole situation, you have to admit I had no involvement.
Because you were hammered.
I was not. Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Hey, listen, when you got Armando and DHHS, watching your back.
I wasn't worried, but I did nothing. All I did was exist.
Yes.
It's my good looks.
Canseco was a tool that night.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon recently had a shareholders meeting out in Stamford, Connecticut for WWE and said that they are almost ready to launch their TV network they've been talking about for a while. And I guess in a bit of a pilot bit of programming for that network, they had a feature on the Miz's house, his crib, if you will, out in Los Angeles.
Ms. Crib? Was he allowed to eat chicken in there?
WWE.com.
Was he allowed to eat the chicken in there?
He said he doesn't cook much. He uses the microwave a lot.
Wow.
So he's a lean pocket guy?
Well, he's not home much. He travels.
I guess.
We said we've got that giveaway caller number 5. I don't know if we have a winner yet for the TNA Fan
Yes, we'd
Money
like to congratulate Billy right here in Milwaukee who won the TNA prize pack.
Billy
Awesome.
Goat. How about that?
Could have been. We'll have more giveaways next week. Congratulations to Billy for winning that TNA stuff. So WWE, the TV network, not going to be something that is focused on WWE programming. They make a lot of money from the programming they give to the NBC Universal Network. They're not going to walk away from that, but they want to expand their programming options and things like the video on WWE.com, things like maybe Santino's Casa, things like the rumored sitcom with Santino.
And
those are things they would be looking at to provide the programming for that network. Tony Atlas was released from WWE last week as well. Where is Abraham Washington? He didn't get drafted, did he?
No, but he was seen at the Hall of Fame. And that's
that was weeks ago.
Yeah, that's it. So
He's back in Florida.
FCW.
Florida, where Matt Hardy's going to be performing. Apparently, he's not going to be on the road, at least in the near future. As he has said, he's been suffering from some injuries, some nagging injuries that he's been trying to
ever see the guy
get
walk?
better from. Yes.
He has injuries.
Yeah.
Never seen any wrestler walk after X amount of years?
Yeah, back when I was wrestling, for my back injury, What?
You didn't get into any fights in high school because you walked away, right?
I've taken more bumps than... No, I didn't say that. I just said a smarter man will let the other guy go to jail and get the tickets. Because that's going to hurt a month later.
Okay.
In my opinion. This has been the award-winning Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN and ESPNMilwaukee.com.